Hey, fourth grade, we are jumping back in with some pronouns today. We have one more pronoun form to learn about before we're all finished. So let's just review a little bit before we begin on today's lesson. The two types of pronouns that we have learned so far are subjective pronouns that can be the subject of sentences. Okay, that's pretty simple. The subject of sentences, subjective pronouns. And yesterday we learned about objective pronouns, which are things that they're usually after the verb or after words like between, from, among, those different objects of the verb, the things that are who the verb or what the verb is happening to. They're objects of the predicate, okay? So objective. So for example, with the subject form of I have a book. Give that book to me, okay? So I, me, it's talking about yourself as your own person. You, remember, just stays the same. You is the same for both of those. You have a book. Give the book to you, okay? Give you the book. I need to give you the book. He has a book. He's the subject. Or give him the book, okay? Who are you giving the book to? You're giving it to him. She has a book. Or, under the objective, the form is her. Give her the book. It has a book. Give it the book. We have a book. Give us the book. They have a book. Give them a book. Okay, do you see how it just kind of changes? It's the same thing with the next type of pronoun that we're using. So this is the subjective pronouns, the ones that are going to be the subjects of your sentence. These are the objective pronouns, the ones that are going to be the object of the predicate or the action that's being taken. And then the next one we're going to learn is the possessive pronouns. Now again, just like in the other two forms that we've learned, it sounds really difficult, but it's not because you use them all the time. So it's just going to be like, oh, that's what that is. I remember that. All right, let's jump right in. So let's just start with, we're going to go from subjective to objective and then go into the possessive forms. Now I will tell you that some of them are the same as the objective pronouns. Some of them have more than one, okay? It just depends on how you're using that possessive pronoun. So if I were to say, I have the book, give me the book. That book is my book, is the first one. That's the form, my book. That is my book. You possess it. To possess something means that you own it or you have it, correct? So that is my book. I own that book, okay? Or that book is mine. Okay, there's two different ones, my or mine. Okay, you don't say that is mine book, but you don't say that book is my. So it depends on where you use it in the sentence. Okay, that book is mine or that is my book. You got it? Does that make sense? Okay, let's go to the next one. You have a book. I need to give you the book, or that book is blank book. That book is, this is really easy, your book. Y-O-U-R. Okay, that's very important. We're gonna learn the difference between the other one after we're done with this. So Y-O-U-R, that book is your book. What if I were just to say that book is blank and end the sentence? That book is yours. It's yours to keep, right? So all you do is you add an S onto the end of your, okay? So this is these are two of our two different possessive pronoun forms, okay? It's not super hard, my and mine, your and yours. You just have to think about them and think about the sentences a little differently to be able to understand what the pronouns might be. Let's move on to he and him. He has a book. Give him the book, or that book is, what's the form of he, him, his? That book is his book. This one is the same because you would say that book is his book or that is his, okay? It's the same no matter what, okay? So jumping down to the girl form, she has a book, give her the book, or that is blank book. That is her book. It doesn't change. This is the same, okay? The possessive form is the same as the objective form for her. However, if you were to say that book is, you wouldn't say that book is her, you would say that book is hers. So all you do is you add on an S like you did for yours, which I actually forgot to do. So I just added that on there right there. All right, jumping down to it. It has a book. Give it the book. Or that is its book. Or the book belongs to it. Okay, so it's just its. All right, just its, nothing else. This is another one we're going to come back to talk about the difference from that and another word. And then let's go down to we, so all of us together. We all have a book. Give us the book. That book is our book, okay? Our book, O-U-R. Or that book is ours. So if it's the last thing and you don't use the object or the noun after, you're going to have that S on the end of yours, hers, ours. Same with mine, okay? So if it's the end of the sentence there. Last one, they have a book. Give them the book, or that book is blank book. That book is their book. T-H-E-I-R. Okay, that's the correct form of their. T-H-E-I-R. T-H-E-I-R. And then if that book is theirs, you have the S at the end of that. So we have two. Good. Now, I do want to make note and do one more thing. Because some of these, so I'm actually going to move this so we have the white space board, right? The whiteboard space right here, okay? So sometimes, let me move it back a little bit. Sometimes our pronoun forms like yours, no, I'm sorry, it's, theirs, yours, they sound similar to some other things that we know that are called, I need to find a good space to stand here, that are called contractions, okay? If you remember what contractions are, these are the words that have the apostrophes in them, like you are becomes your, okay? So you are going to read for your homework your book. So it would be you, Y-O-U, apostrophe R-E, is different than the pronoun your, okay? They're spelled different. They're homonyms, remember? They're words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently. When you put that apostrophe in there, it changes the spelling. It counts as a letter. And now this isn't as important because the E is on the end, but when you get down to like it's, okay? So it's fur versus it's possessing the fur versus it is covered in fur. So it is I-T apostrophe S. All right, can you see that? Let me move that in a little bit. The apostrophe completely changes the spelling of the word, okay? That's really important to know because it makes it a contraction. It's two different words. So the way that you ask yourself this is if you're not sure, just practice the contractions. So if you're reading a sentence that says Y-O-U-R and you don't know if it's a contraction or if it's a pronoun, just say, the book you're reading is going to be interesting. Okay, it's going to get interesting. If you're not sure if it's a contraction or pronoun, just actually say out you are. The book you are reading is going to get interesting. That makes sense. But your book has a tear in the page. Does it make sense to say your book has a tear in its page? It doesn't. So you guys know the contractions. So just use that test. Just say it in your head to know. If it has an apostrophe, it most likely is going to be a contraction. So that's another giveaway. But if you forget, you can use that trick there. So remember, sometimes the contractions will disguise themselves as pronouns, but then they're not. So you have to watch very carefully and decide which one is which. Okay, now I need you to get your language book open to page number 158. Go ahead and do that. Page 158, I'm going to move this out just a little bit more, okay? Page 158, we're going to do a little practice together. So get a pencil, get your language book, page 158, pause, go. Okay. Back to your language book, page 158. Let's do Think A together, okay? I want to make sure that we're on the same page with this, literally and figuratively. Down to number 1. The instructions say in the blank, write the possessive pronoun that could take the place of the underlined word. Note, unless you know that an animal is a male, he or she, refer to the animal by using the pronoun it. Okay, that's just pretty basic, all right? So let's look at number 1. Aunt Eva's dog is a boxer. So we need a pronoun to say, instead of saying Aunt Eva, what are we going to say? Are we going to say its dog is a boxer? Your dog is a boxer? I guess we're on the possessive over here. Her dog is a boxer. My dog. We're talking about Aunt Eva, who is a girl, right? So it's going to be her, okay? Her dog is a boxer. Number 2, I rode Madison's bike to school. Okay, what's a possessive pronoun that we can use to put in the place of Madison? Now, I know that Madison is sometimes a boy or a girl's name. We're going to use it as a girl's name in this just because that's the way they want us to right now. So, and again, it's a female, which means we're going to probably be using she, her, her, okay, hers. So is it going to be her or hers? I rode her bike to school, or I rode hers bike to school. It's going to be just plain old her, right? I rode her bike to school. That is correct. Please make sure you're filling these in as we go. If you have not done so already, pause and take the time to do that. Okay, number 3. Mr. Hauk is the children's teacher. The children, okay? It's not saying we are a part of the children, okay? It's not saying you are. It's just the children. So if I were to say, if I were talking about our class, and I would say the children are doing their work, or I would say they're doing their work, okay? They, but let's read about it. Mr. Hauk is blank teacher. Mr. Hauk is they teacher. What's the possessive form of they? Their. Now remember, this is T-H-E-I-R, okay? That's the possessive pronoun, not the contraction. Don't make it a contraction. It's T-H-E-I-R, okay? There. And number 4, I will clean the rabbit's cage. Remember the trick about the animals, okay? We don't know if it's a boy or a girl, so we're going to call it it, okay? I'm going to clean its with an S at the end, its, because that's the possessive part, okay? Its. I'm going to clean its cage. Got it? All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I think we are good. All right, so I want you actually on this page number 158, you can go ahead and write it in, but you don't have to. I'm going to put the last 6 questions on page 158 up on Edmodo for you to do, only because it's not graded or anything. I just want to see how well you're comprehending it. So if you want to just look at it on the page and jot it down, or just go over to Edmodo and fill that out so that I can see how well you're comprehending what we just did, and then check the rest of language for your homework. This is the only video for today, I guess. It's been a low video day, and you guys have that test for history, so I want to make sure that you can focus a lot of your time on that. So enjoy your day. I will see you on Thursday.